are you ready for the questions that's coming your way?
Sure, Rohini. It's all
All right.
yours.
The first question would be, what is power parenting? What are we going to do today and what are we going to
Great.
learn?
Power parenting is a very unique way of parenting, which is uh, so power parenting is for futuristic, scientific, and visionary parents. I wish all of you are such parents who wants to prepare their children for a future which is absolutely not known. It's not coming from the past experiences, but it is creating a future generation. That is what I call it a power parenting. And I partner with Crackslab for my online power parenting program. So that's how they are also on the screen.
Wonderful, ma'am. It's such a pleasurable thing to know. Well, I was just thinking, why do you think it's important for us to understand our children's emotions? And also, we need to set a balance with emotions within ourselves as parents. We cannot, it's pretty challenging sometimes to maintain your emotions and also to understand the child's emotions. And would
Yes.
you just help us
You
understand
said
that?
you have the answer also in your question, Rohini. When you have to manage your child's emotions or understand your child's emotions, the first thing is you need to know your emotions. And a little bit, so this is the picture which I really love to call power parenting, supporting the child to grow the way the child is born in their unique ways. So first let us understand my objective of a power parent, how I look at parenting is it's a privilege to care for new life, a responsibility towards the future, and an opportunity to pay back to life itself. So when it comes to emotions, and you also should appreciate yourself that you are the nature's choice for your child. You are the chosen one. Because only you and only you can create their future or walk them into their future, what they're born for. So all of you pat your backs for that.
um,
Yeah. So how to manage emotions? Rohini, that was your questions, right?
yes.
So emotions is a huge, huge subject, but it is very integral to all of us. The best way to manage the emotion of your child is to empathize with your child. Empathize with the child's feelings. If the child is, say, 6 years old and the mother is some 35-year-old, if you look at his problem as a 35-year-old, it looks very trivial. You cannot deal with it. But you have to relate to his emotion as a 6-year-old, as a 3-year-old, as a 15-year-old. Then you automatically can be with the child and show them what next to do. Does that answer your question? You want me to elaborate more on that?
Yes, it does. But I would like to quote an example here so that
Sure,
most of
sure.
us can probably relate to what you said better on behalf of all the parents here. So, say if you have to pick a scenario for that matter, imagine you are on a very important client call and your child is throwing tantrums. And at that point, it gets very frustrating as an adult, and maybe at that moment we do not know how to deal with it, and I think most of us land up raising our voice, or I think in the previous generations they even would probably give one or two. I don't know how many of us would want to do that in today's life, but yeah, I've probably seen parents lose their temper because they're on an important business discussion or anything, and you have to suddenly deal with your child's tantrum. So I'm sure pandemic has given all of us at least one such scenario, ma'am. So if this is a scenario, what would be your suggestion?
So can I ask you a question here?
Yes, ma'am, sure.
So when you cannot learn parenting when the child is throwing tantrums.
Okay.
So why does a child throw tantrum when you have a important event? Is because child knows that's the weakest time you ever have, and you will give in to him or her, right? So you are showing your child your weaker emotions more often than your stronger emotions.
Okay.
So if your child knows, come what may, mom is not going to give in to what I ask, because um, she knows what is right and wrong. And this preparation has to happen pre-session. It is not on the go. So how you present yourself in front of your child over a period of time gives the child that attitude about you, or that respect about you. So if we are not being the same at all times, and if we are giving in sometimes, if we are getting manipulated, you are allowing your child to manipulate. So the power of parenting is not with you, but your child is holding that power against you. So,
That's a wonderful response, ma'am. Yeah, I think I totally agree with you.
so please have the power in your hand how you want to parent your child, than your child dictating terms how he should be parented.
All right. Okay. Do we have more slides from your side, ma'am, so that we can read a little bit of content?
Content. I'm not a content person. I'm a picture person. You ask me. So, how do you understand your child's emotions? Here you see a picture of rain, but let us see how each one of us can feel about it. This person is feeling very grim about it. Here, this lady is feeling very excited about it, and somebody else is feeling very thankful. Rain is one, reactions are different. So, emotions are like that. And what makes the difference is what is your background, what is your context of looking at a particular situation. Similarly, your parenting also needs to have a context. So that sets the tone for you and your child to have the interactions and bond and relate to each other and respect each other. So when I was parenting, my background was to enable them for a future where whether I am there or not, they should be independent for themselves. So that was my context. So every action, every interaction, everything I guided them was towards that. For some people, it could be about making a big business, making their dreams fulfill, making the child's dreams big. So it all depends. So you all can take a couple of minutes to understand what is your end goal of being a parent. That makes a whole difference. Define your role as a parent. If you have paper and pen, you can actually do it now. What is the context that you want to create to be a parent? What is the result that you want at the end of, say, 18 years, 20 years, 25 years of your parenting? What is the result that you want to see? For everything, we need goal, right? Without goal, we are all over the place. So just before starting this session, I was watching Discovery or some travel on the TV. So there a cat was trying to hunt a pigeon. There were 1,000 pigeons sitting there, and the cat went there very, very precisely thinking that it will catch one, but it could not. All the pigeons flew away. But later there was one pigeon which was isolated. The cat went and caught it very easily. That's how important the goals are. So for everything, you have set goals, right? For your work, for your personal growth, everything. So I would invite all of you to set a goal. What do you want to achieve in your parenting? So that will set the whole style of parenting, all the interactions.
And I would also request the attendees to use the chat box. If you're open to share your viewpoints, please use the chat box, and we can have it more interactive. We could probably take one of your examples and have a talk on it as well, isn't it, Pavni ma'am?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, any parent who would want to put up their wish for the child down the line of few years, please use the chat box and make a note so we can read that and probably talk a little bit more about that. So while others type, I would probably, talk for my child. And as a parent, Pavni ma'am, for me, all that matters is he being a very responsible human being tomorrow and stay happy. I believe in happy people give happiness, and happiness just multiplies, and the world would become a happy place for everybody. So
Wonderful.
yeah, I don't usually worry too much of his academics or putting him to too many classes. I just like to see him laugh, smile, and grow to be a little, yeah, of course, responsibility and discipline is something that I want to bring in. Yeah, so what do you want to say about a mom like me? I do
So,
get a little bit
how
of
do
a
you
pleasure.
yeah, how do you define making him responsible? What
Well, for me, ma'am, when I'm in the kitchen, I have a son who is 5.5 year old. His name is Naksh, for others to know. And I do not differentiate any work to be low or big or anything. I mean, I just get him involved to do any kind of work at home. It can be sweeping, mopping. Today he made a salad and whatever he wants to. And sometimes when we go out in a group, I see my son, if it's a play area, I'm talking about like these smalls have
got it?
these play areas. So
Got it.
whenever I've taken him from the age of 2.5, I'm observing all that he does is leaves all the bikes, lights, everything. He just goes to his kitchen set and sits there for 1 hour and cooks. That's all he wants to do. And I just let him be and, probably teach him how to use cutleries better so that he doesn't hurt himself and how nicely he can serve people. So whatever knowledge I have, I kind of transfer it to him and let him be. And for me, that is being
Yeah,
responsible and disciplined. It's not a very big thing, but I feel small things matter more.
you're very right, Rohini. Small things do matter. And also, you understanding his natural in talent also is very important. I think it runs for him in his blood. The cutlery and the kitchen, right? Cooking cutlery
Yes,
and all, from the grandfather to the mom and to the
absolutely.
grandson. So, responsibility, how you teach for your children, in my opinion, is slightly different. If I have permission, I would want to say that.
Right.
Responsibility is allowing your child to make a decision for themselves and understand the consequences, experience the consequences. It could be a small thing or a big thing. We generally tell them what is good and what is bad, how it should be done and how it should not be done. Say cooking or salad, you are there with him. You will tell him how it should be cut. This is the way it has to be cut according to this recipe, things like that. But you can also think about letting his creativity flow. He wants
Okay.
to make a salad, let him do it his way. He need not copy some recipe which is already there on YouTube or somewhere else. And that is also fine. If it tastes good, it tastes good. It doesn't taste good, it is still doesn't taste good. And let the child and the family accept it that way, rather than trying to fit him into something which is already existing.
Okay.
That is where is his responsibility. He wants, you want to say buy him Nike shoes. He goes to the shop, but he doesn't like Nike. He likes something else. So he goes and picks up that. Allow him to buy it. Let him experience. Let him wear both the shoes and try it out. And if he still wants to buy what he wants to buy, let him buy it. The consequences, whether it is comfortable, not comfortable, when he's walking, he might find comfortable, but when he's trekking, he might not find it comfortable tomorrow. So he will tell you, Mom, this is not very good for trekking. This was only good for walking. So maybe next time I should buy something else. So you don't have to tell them, you just have to expose them to the things. So if they start making those small decisions for themselves and take responsibility there, this is my decision. So when you are dealing with him also, you can tell him, okay, this was your choice. So next time, maybe we will figure out how you want to buy. Generally,
Got it.
what would be the natural response for you if he says the shoes is not working out for my trekking? What would you say?
Well, I think when it comes to shopping, I just let him be. But for me, a takeaway is to let him be creative in the kitchen. Usually,
Right.
I poke my nose. I will tell, cut it in the right, it should be of the same size. And I have like 10,000 instructions to make a salad for him, poor thing.
And
I think for,
finally, yeah, and finally you label that he did it, right?
yes,
That's
I
the
think for
saddest
me,
part.
a takeaway definitely is to be non-judgmental and let him be creative. Yeah.
Yeah. So for you, because shopping is okay and cooking is important, so you interfere into that. And
Yes.
maybe somebody else like me, maybe they will say, oh, you did this, you only bought this shoes. Now, bukto. It is your problem. It is comfortable, not comfortable, it's your problem. So the
Right.
next time when the child is trying to make a choice, they are not very sure. Oh, maybe I don't know how to make the right choice. So let me depend on somebody.
Okay.
That is how responsibility becomes dependency.
Okay, got that. I hope everyone else in the room
Very
are happy
impressive.
with the response. I have few questions, ma'am. Do we want to keep this to the end or do you want to visit it now?
As you feel, Rohini, it's all, I'm okay with anything.
Okay, so well, can we keep the question and answer at the end? And in case we are not able to answer all your questions, our friend Cindy is making a note of it, and we will, get back with the answers in a couple of days. Post it on the WhatsApp group for everyone else who's posting questions. Thanks for being interactive. We will probably not to, just with the interest of time, I do not want to deviate from the agenda. I'm going to get the questions at the last. And Cindy, I request you again to make note of all the questions. If we can't answer it now, we will get back to everybody.